Hello everyone. So yesterday we have already discussed what is noun, right? So in this video, let's see, we will be discussing about, we have discussed what is noun, the different types of the noun. We have also discussed these types, and now today we'll be discussing about very important topic, and this will be under the material noun, that is the countable and the uncountable noun. Okay, countable and the uncountable noun. When you're talking about countable and uncountable countable noun refers to those types of things that can be counted, right? The name itself is saying that which can be counted refers to the countable noun, and the one which cannot be counted. It means it is talking about noun, right? Noun, it refers to everything, like it is referring to the things, it is also referring to the feelings and all those things. So those which can be counted in numbers, those which can be counted in numbers is will refer to the countable noun, and the one which cannot be counted in numbers will refer to as uncountable noun. This is simple, but there are certain rules that you need to remember, as we discussed in the earlier also. And in this you will see that countable noun can be singular, it can be a plural. Okay, for example, when you're talking about pen, okay, when you're talking about pen, this is a single pen that we're talking about. When I'm writing pens, I'm writing it plural, right? So you know the difference between singular and plural. So when I'm writing pens, it becomes plural. So it refers to the that countable noun can be both singular and plural. For example, let's see the example here. There is a bench, but this becomes a singular. There are 6 benches, and this becomes the plural. So 6 benches, a bench, these are countable nouns. Second important rule that you need to know is that you can use or and, that is the articles, before the singular countable noun. I repeat, it is saying singular countable noun. सिंगुलर काउंटेबल नाउन के आगे ही सिर्फ और एंड लग सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, I can only write an egg. I cannot write an eggs. Why? Because eggs, here it becomes a plural countable noun. Plural countable noun, and we are not allowed to use articles before the plural countable noun. I will again take a slide and explain you this rule. But before that, let's see another rule of the this countable noun. We can use numbers, I said, because we are, if something that can be counted in numbers refers to the countable, that is 3 chairs and 12 benches, so we are using the numbers. Now let's come to the uncountable noun. I said you it cannot be counted, for example, the water, the sugar. But let me mark it down here that it does not mean that it cannot be, you cannot find out how much it is. Okay, we can find out how much it is. We can say that yes, there is 1 kg of sugar, but we cannot say that we cannot put down it in numbers. We cannot say that there is 1,000 sugars, right? So it can be, we can say how much there is, but we cannot count it. Okay, uncountable noun. If we talk about the rules of the uncountable noun, we need to know that, as in the earlier I discussed in the countable noun, is that we are not allowed to, we can use or and, that is the articles in front of the countable noun, but in uncountable noun we cannot use the or and. We cannot use or and before the uncountable noun. For example, water, right? Or water, you cannot write, this is wrong. And water, you cannot write. Or for example, and ice, this is wrong. So number 1 point was that you cannot use or and before the uncountable noun. Second thing, in the countable noun we discussed that it has got both the singular and the plural form, but uncountable noun does not have plural form. Uncountable noun does not have plural form. What does it mean? It means that I cannot write waters. This is wrong. I cannot write milks. If you see the example, I cannot write waters. This is wrong. I cannot write milk. This is also wrong. Why? Because we do not have plural form in front of the uncountable noun. As a result, we are also not using articles, that is or and before the uncountable noun. Let me quickly revise it what I told you. Okay, what I said, we discussed the difference between countable and uncountable, right? Countable and uncountable noun. We can use or and before here. We cannot use or and. We cannot use or and. It can be both singular. It can be both singular. It can and plural. For example, I can write pens. Right? It is correct. I can write a pen. Right? I can write a pen. I can use or before singular, and I cannot use an or articles before the plural countable noun. Okay. Now uncountable noun, I cannot use or and before singular and as well as plural. I cannot write a water. This is wrong. I cannot write waters. This is also wrong. Plus, what I said was there is no plural form. There is no plural form in the uncountable noun. Waters in itself is a wrong word. Okay. Here, for example, hairs. People say hairs. These all are wrong. These are basic things that people forget it. Okay. And for example, sugars. This is also wrong. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. I already said it is wrong. Water is wrong and ice will be wrong. Okay. Now, again, one thing I said that uncountable noun cannot be counted, right? But it does not mean that it cannot be measured. It can be measured. I can say that there is 1 kg of milk, or sorry, 1 liter of milk, or I can say that there is 1 kg of sugar, right? I can measure the amount. I can measure the amount of the uncountable noun, but I cannot count the quantity, how much it is. I can say that there is a box of chocolates. I can say that there is a slice of a bread. So what I said, that it cannot be counted, but it can be measured. For example, I can write a liter of 1 liter of milk, right? I can write 1 liter of milk. Again, I'm repeating, it cannot be counted, but it can be measured. Now, when I'm talking about the different types of word that I used here, the measurement words, for example, the liter, or the piece word, for example, a slice of a bread, or the container, something, a bottle of a water, or a box of a chocolates. So these will come under the new topic that we'll discuss in the quantifiers. Okay, quantifiers, which will say about the quantity of these uncountable nouns. If we talk about the example of the quantifiers, I said the one which is used to measure the quantity or the amount of the uncountable noun refers to the quantifiers. Example is here a lot of, okay, a lot of, a few, many, much, little, a little, some little. There is very basic difference between these words, and you need to find out where is which types of word will be properly suited in those uncountable noun. Okay, this is the very trickiest thing that will be discussed. This is something that you cannot take a screenshot of it, because this is very important, in a sense that whatever I discussed about these quantifier words, that is each, every, many, this is the most confusing, but I have very simplified it. I have written the quantifiers here, and then I have written around which noun it is going to apply. For example, people always confuse between whether to use some or few, or whether to write a few or the few, right? Because this is a confusing one. Indeed, this is a confusing topic. Okay, so but if you'll see here, let me just tell you, if there is countable singular noun, if there is countable singular noun, for example, countable means that can be counted, singular means without s or es, or not in plural form. So pen, example, pen. In front of the countable singular noun, you're going to use these words each, every, any, one. Each, every, any, one is going to used before countable singular noun only. It means I cannot write every person's. Every person's. I cannot write every person's here. Why? Because every will always be used before singular noun, not before the plural noun. Okay, people what they confuse, wherever there is word every, they think that this is a plural word, it is going to use in the plural. No, every here is going to use in the singular countable noun. Any person, not any persons, any person. Okay, third, each student, not each students. This each students is wrong. I again repeat it. Okay, let me repeat it once again. I cannot use each students. I cannot use every students, every pens. Why? Because each, every, any, and one, these are going to use before countable noun only, plus before singular noun only. Okay, if there is singular noun, then only we can use each and every, or any, or one. Second thing was about now what to use before, plural. Okay, what are the different words that is going to be used in the countable plural? The words are a few, many, both, several, one of the. Again, I'm selecting the trickiest one. One of the. Second, a couple of, a great number of, a dozen of. These all are going to be used before plural. For example, students. Students, this is a plural, one of the students. And if I write one of the student in the class, this will be wrong. Yes, if I am selecting from a group of the students and I'm saying one of the student of the class is intelligent, okay, one of the student, no, that will be wrong, because I am going to use it, this is going to be used in the plural, so it will be correct one will be one of the students, one of the students. Okay, so see the words that are given here, you will get the PDF in the description. Second thought was about the countable, plural and uncountable, which can be used before countable as well as uncountable noun. For example, the some, any, most, a lot of, okay, no, a lots of, these can be used before countable also, uncountable also, but it should be plural. Again, the word is given here is plural. Any is going to, sorry, what is here? Most, a lot of, lots of, none of these are going to be used in the plural. Now last one was uncountable. What are the words which will come before the uncountable? Much, less, little, a great deal of, a great amount of, a bit of. So a little, okay, a little pen will be wrong because pen is a countable. So a little water, a little amount of sugar. So these are amount of, or a little amount of, great amount of, great deal of, a bit of, salt. All these things are uncountable, and these are going to be used in the uncountable now. So let's have a quick review. Each student is wrong. Why? Because I said each is going to be used in the plural. Some book is going to be wrong. Why? Because some book, people write so easily, they write some book, but some book is going to be, some is going to be used in the plural. I said some books. Some waters is wrong. Why? Because waters in itself is wrong, first thing. Secondly, some is not going to be used in the uncountable noun. Now a little of books, this is also wrong because a little, I said, it is going to be used in the uncountable noun. One of the book, again wrong. Why? Because one of the is going to be used before countable, plural. So one of the books. Every children, wrong. Why? Because children is a plural form of child, and every is going to be used in the singular only. So every children is also wrong. A few milk is also wrong. Why? A few milk is wrong. Why? Because a few will be used in front of the countable only. A few is in front of countable only. A few children were playing. Okay. A few milk will be wrong. Most child is also wrong. Why? Because must is going to be used in the uncountable noun, and we can count the number of the childs. Okay. Second, a couple of days is also wrong. A lot of book is wrong. Why? Because a lot of is going to be used in the plural form. A lot of books will be correct one. So just have a quick revision of all the things that I discussed today. So that's all for this video. Do follow the channel. Thank you, everybody.